As the season unfolded, I think everyone can see that we're moving in the right direction. So our state is energized, our in-state recruits are energized, and so we feel like we're going to be able to do a much better job recruiting our state.
Wow, Mel Tucker certainly talked the talk, didn't he? He certainly talked the talk, but it was all a charade, all a charade, as he truly wasn't committed to turning around CU and bringing a championship to Boulder. As the moment that Michigan State came calling, he said, oops, see you later. And
See you around sometime.
Going to Michigan State.
Hope it works out for you.
Should Mel Tucker be viewed as a villain in all of this, or did he just do what anybody out there listening would do if given the opportunity?
Yeah, he shouldn't be vilified. He improved his lot in life. And he used CU as a one-year stepping stone. That's college football. And ultimately, you have to understand that college football is a business, and you can have, hurt feelings about it. You can think that, let's be realistic. CU is where CU is. They're a bottom of the Pac-12 organization. Let's forget about the glory. Is this like the Oakland Raiders going, we're a Super Bowl champion? When, 80s? In the 80s, you were a champion? That's right. It's been that long ago. Right? So, we can get all nostalgic about, back in the day when they won a national championship and, and they had the fifth down and, and the guys that played and the coach and Coach Mack and, we can get nostalgic about it. When was that?
Long time ago.
80s or 90s?
Long time ago.
All right.
Next on the Morning Brew.
From your perspective, what would you just like to say about what's been out there publicly about the nothing at all?
There's no comment. I haven't had any comment to this point, so we'll move past that. Thanks. Next question.
There's Jeff Bridich, folks. There's your general manager of the Rockies. You're all wondering, what's going on with Nolan Arenado? Can this relationship be salvaged? What's the status? Rockies fans want to know, and that's what your general manager has to say. Forget about the fact that he's a bad general manager, okay? Here's the part that I don't get. Dick Monfort, one thing I'll give Dick Monfort, he knows how to run a good business, right? I mean, I don't know if he's committed to winning. Well, I know he's not committed to winning, but he seems to know how to run a good business. He's turned the ballpark into a destination place, party decks and everything like that. Clearly the guy cares about and understands customer relations, right? Why does he tolerate this guy going out and, I almost said a stronger word, crapping on his consumers like that? Because that's what he's doing. That's what the general manager just did. He took a giant crap on all Rockies fans with that kind of comment.
Yeah, I don't, you think that he's intentional, but I just don't know that, I just didn't know that he has any social skills. He didn't have what we call the social skills. And that was that Bobby Boucher. I mean, I don't know. Listen. Those statements and the way you deal with people and the relational aspect, and I say this all the time, and you just talked about it with Dick Monfort. You're in the relationship business, and if you're not in that business, you're going out of business. And the lack of just now I get it, it's a great place to go, but we get to witness on a nightly basis one of the greatest players, one of the greatest players of his generation, but one of the greatest players of all generations. I mean, when people talk about Nolan Arenado, they talk about the greats that played third base. They talk about they talk about the guys, the guys who laid the foundation. And the Brooks Robinson, he's in the same breath when people say Brooks Robinson. George Brett was a big third baseman. Scott Rowland.
Yeah.
They talk about
Butch Hobson.
Butch Hobson.
Third baseman of the Red Sox when I was growing up.
Oh.
Before Boggs came along. Before Boggsy. Butch Hobson. Butch Hobson always had these elbow chips in his elbow. He was like literally like adjusting his elbow during games. Had like 35 throwing errors one year. He was a disaster. Butch Hobson. Never confused with Nolan Arenado. Next on the Morning Brew.
But overall, I didn't mind our game. It's a tough game to play after a long road trip coming home. That first one on not much rest, but I thought our guys did a nice job tonight sticking with it. And power play was basically the same as our 5-on-5. You know, doing some good things and then pretty sloppy and turnovers, but they stuck with it. And
Jared Bednar's Avalanche in a good place right now as they have found a nice groove. They win last night at home. He makes a good point about the dreaded first home game back after a longer road trip. Sometimes that is a difficult game. And, I mean, Ottawa hung around. It was 1-0 in the third period, but the Avs get the win 3-0. And here's what should calm maybe some of the rattled nerves out there among Avalanche fans. Philip Grubauer is in a nice stretch right now. He's won his last 4 starts, and he's given up 3 goals in those 4 starts. So I still feel that the potential Achilles heel for this team to go deep in the playoffs is goaltending and overall defense. But right now, Grubauer in a nice spot. Nice zone.
Mick Grubauer! Good for him. Gotta have great goaltending coming down the stretch. Gotta have great goaltending in the playoffs can make up for a multitude of sins.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. That's why you see
That's
why you see the upsets.
And Bednar just said, "Hey, listen, we turned the puck over. Wasn't happy with that, but the effort was good, and you got a goalie make some saves. I mean, those are good things."
The ultimate eraser, right there. Okay, that'll do it for the Morning Brew. Bring that to you each and every morning